Guess who's back? Back again. Barney's back for a camp. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Alright, okay, that's enough. That's enough. Sorry about that. Really sorry. Shouldn't have done that. What did you think of the shoulder shimmy though? Did that work? No? Okay. Well, I'm back out. I'm back back in the car, and I'm back, as promised, on Bodmin Moor. Unfortunately, the weather isn't perfect. It rarely is up here, to be honest with you. It's quite claggy, quite foggy up here. But the weather forecast is much better than it was last time I was here, which is when those storms were blowing through the country, and it was like hell on earth. Today, yeah, I've got a bit of, the views aren't great. We ain't got that, with the sort of fog has dropped down, but there's a little bit of drizzle now, but that's forecast to improve. The weather is forecast to improve through the afternoon. It's just about lunchtime in a minute. And things are getting better, and there's no significant wind to worry about either. I mean, it's always going to be a little bit windy up in the high country here, but certainly nothing which is going to bother me too much. Certainly not in the bivvy bag anyway. So yeah, I'm back for a camp. And I thought, as before, I thought I'd just film this intro in the car, because yeah, the wind that's blowing out there probably still is enough to upset the microphone on the GoPro that I'm talking to you on. I'll try and talk to you whilst I'm out and about anyway, and keep you posted on what's going on. But yeah, I just want to get a little bit of an intro in the can to let you know what I'm doing. I'm going to load up the rucksack in a minute and head on up onto the moor for a walk. Probably going to walk for an hour or so, I think, and then stop for a bit of lunch, because I've got some nice Cornish culinary treats in the rucksack for today, as I did last time actually, but I never got to show you them, unfortunately. But hopefully this time I will. Things are looking promising, and I'm looking forward to getting stuck into them as well, because one of my favourite things about coming down Cornwall, because I come down here quite a lot, is the food. And I'll talk a bit more about that later. But yeah, I've been down here for a few days. Left my wife back at the caravan. She's probably binging on a box set on one of the streaming services at the moment. We was out walking the dog nearby here yesterday, and the weather was absolutely stunning. It was beautiful. Blue skies, sun was out, not too hot, not too cold. We had a great walk around one of the nearby lakes. If only the weather could have been like that today, but you can't win. You can't get everything all the time, and I will take this weather. This isn't too bad, and it's actually brightening up whilst I'm talking to you as well. So I'm going to get loaded up with the rucksack, probably chuck the gaiters on as well, and a jacket, and get walking. So I'll bring you back along the way. Bye for now. About a mile. The weather's been a bit grim. Just the fog blowing through, this sort of drizzle, fine drizzle. Got wet top halves of my legs are a bit damp, but again I chose not to put trousers on. But that's my first objective up there, is Bearah Tor. That's where I want to get to first. Maybe find a little sheltered spot out of the way of the wind. Just have a sit down for a minute and some lunch. But the weather is slowly improving, so I'm feeling optimistic still, and I'm confident my legs will dry out through the course of the afternoon. So yeah, I'll crack on. up to that tor there. That's the that sharp tor up there. Got about 80 metres of climb, and it's straight up, so it's going to get the lungs burning. So unfit. Here we go then, folks. Found myself a nice little sanctuary out of the weather here. This rocky formation behind me is giving me a nice shelter from the weather. The weather's kind of blowing that way, and as soon as I step out there you get battered, but in here you got plenty of shelter and it's much better. Weather is definitely brightening up as well. I can see much more of the landscape over there now. It was all fogged in, so I might just get up to the summit up there in a moment, get some footage, and then come back down here and have some lunch, I think, to eat. But yeah, the weather is improving slowly, but I'm thinking potential spot from the bivvy right here. It's a shame this spot ain't quite long enough, or flat enough, but yeah, definitely could put it down there. That'll be nicely protected. I can put my tarp there as well. Yeah, feel good about that. But lovely. It's nice to be here. I've not been to this tor before. This is Sharp Tor, and it's mighty impressive walking up to it, because you've got to walk straight up that path down there, straight all the way up. So I've walked from that direction and then come straight up. So that across the hill there is Cheesewring, another tor. Right, so let's crack on. Bit of a scramble. What a stunning view though. What is Cornwall famous for? Cornish pasty. I cannot come to Cornwall without having at least one pasty. This is it. You won't find a better lunch out there, I don't think. So I'm going to get it in my belly. Yes. That fresh from the baker's this morning. Very nice indeed. There's three things that I insist on eating when I come to Cornwall: pasty, a cream tea, and fish and chips. I call it the sort of Cornish culinary trinity, and it's delightful. So I'm going to get that down me, I think, and just take a moment, chill out for a bit in this little corner of calm. There's one more tor I want to get to, which is in that direction. I might just wait things out a little bit here for maybe a half hour or so, just to see if things get a bit better, because it is definitely brightening up. I know I keep telling you that, and it probably doesn't look like it on the camera, but the sky is getting brighter. The sun is trying to peek through the clouds. So if things improve, then I'll crack on. But if not, then I might hang around here for a bit, get a brew on, because that is currently option number one for camping tonight. It doesn't look it here, but it's relatively flat, as flat as I'm going to get up here, and perfect spot for my bivvy bag as well. I can get the tarp there, get under the tarp, and have a really nice view out the front as well. Winner winner chicken dinner. So I'll bring you back after my pasty. Found a really nice little enclosed area to have a little sit down. It's a bit drippy from the rain, but it's nice and dry there. So I think it's brew o'clock. Time for a cuppa. Got a nice little sit mat there as well from Outhouse. Oh yes, this is living. Look at that. Lovely spot to just sit and drink in the view while it's there. It's a shame I might be able to put my bivvy down there, I don't know. But I think the other spot is a bit better. Yeah. No loose leaf tea today, but I've got some of this with me. And, it's actually not too bad. It's very similar to Yorkshire tea, which is my go-to sort of most days. I'm sure it would taste nice here. The rain's coming back in again, but thankfully I'm getting a nice bit of shelter underneath here. Cheers. Oh, that's nice. Bearah Tor. The views are stunning. So here we are, folks, on Bearah Tor, which is the second tour that I've been out of a bag today. It's quite a big sort of rock formation here. Excuse my lack of geographical or topographical language. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I don't really know where the summit peak is. I kind of think it might be up there or it could be over there, but according to my OS maps, I'm on the top of Bearah Tor. At least I was when I was over there. But I'm just standing here once again, sheltering from the wind and the fine mist that keeps blowing across. And I keep looking around for spots to put my bivvy bag, and you know, there's ample opportunity here to do so, keeping out of the wind and the rain. So up ahead there, it's meant to be Kilmar Tor, which is quite a spectacular tour when you can see it. Visibility is pretty poor at the moment, but the wind and the drizzle have died down quite a bit, so that's nice. But I'm a little bit apprehensive about this one because there's a lot of scrambling rocks to negotiate, and probably not particularly sensible doing that for me when I'm not familiar with that sort of thing, and I've got a heavy rucksack on my back. But I'll crack on a bit and see how far I can get, but I know. Hi campers, I'm back at this ledge on a sharp tour that I visited earlier for a brew and my pasty, but since then, that was a couple of hours ago, I've covered a few miles. I've walked about 3 miles in total. I've covered 5 miles so far today, and I've managed to get up to the summit of Sharp Tor. I've visited Bearah Tor and also a Kilmar Tor, although I didn't quite make the trig point there. I hopefully included some footage which I recorded on my phone from when I was sort of on Kilmar Tor there, because the battery went on the GoPro, and I've had you guys charging for an hour or so. But since getting to Kilmar Tor, I've retreated back sort of a couple of miles or so to this tour, and yeah, it's quite difficult walking around here at the moment. It's terrain I'm not familiar with. It's very much uphill and down dale. You've got to be careful where you're walking, because sometimes the terrain's absolutely fine, and then you've got rocky formations to negotiate, and then you've got boggy bits as well that you don't want to get stuck in. So yeah, you've got to keep your wits about you. And then added to that is the lack of visibility at the minute. It's really poor. It's starting to clear up a little bit now, but I've had to sort of stop every kind of 100 meters or so and look on my OS maps just to sort of get my bearing and make sure I'm still heading in the right kind of direction towards the tour that I want to get to. So yeah, that's sort of tested me a little bit today, but it's been good to sort of test those skills, because I don't normally get to do that sort of thing. So I've quite enjoyed the challenge of that. But I've come back to this spot because I think I'm going to camp here tonight. It's a really nice location. I've got a nice little seating area here. I'm sheltered from this rock up above me here, and there where you're looking at the moment, I've got a nice sort of flat rock, and I'm thinking about just rolling out my bivvy on that. I've got my Dutch hood bivvy, so I can't peg that out like I normally would, but I'm not particularly worried about that. It'll keep me sheltered from the weather and give me a comfortable bed, because I've got the foam mat that I'll put underneath the bivvy as well to protect the fabric from the rock. And yeah, I'm fairly confident I'll be comfortable in that. I've got a cheeky beer in the go at the moment, a nice can of punk. It's getting on towards 4:30 now, I think. So I'm going to drink that beer and then probably think about getting some dinner on the go a bit earlier than normal, but I'm probably going to bed down quite early tonight, because it's going to get quite chilly when the sun goes down. Not that there is much sun about at the moment, but yeah, I'm expecting the temperature to sort of plummet in a couple of hours time, and I want to make sure I've dried out, because I've been sweating a little bit whilst walking, so I'm giving myself a good couple of hours just to stop, rest, make sure I'm dried out, and I'm using my body temperature to sort of dry the clothing that I'm in, and make sure I can maintain my core temperature. I've got a sort of Montane Extreme Smock underneath, which is pole lined, and that's really good at wicking moisture away from your body and drying out quite quickly. So yeah, I'm hopeful that will work quite well. But I've got another beer to enjoy, got some food, and I've got another warm layer for my legs and my top half to sort of put on a little later on when it starts to get chilly as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to spending the night on the moor. First time for me. Been wanting to do this for a long time now. Shame about the weather, but hopefully next time I'll be rewarded with some good weather when I come back. I think I probably will come back. It's absolutely gorgeous around here. Really nice. Every now and again the cloud seems to lift a little bit. You can get a little glimpse of the views. If it was clear in that direction, you'd be able to see Dartmoor just over yonder. It's about sort of 30 or so miles away. But yeah, really enjoying it. I'll bring you back when I've got food on, I suppose. Speak to you later. So for tea tonight, I have got beef chilli from the Steak Detective and the Ministry of Beef. I had one of the Steak Detective's meals a few months ago, and it was the steak, veg and dumplings, and it was really nice actually. They're just boiling the bag jobbies, boiling in the bag for, I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes I think it says, and 7 to 8 minutes it says there, and yeah, job done. I've got a packet of Doritos to sort of dip in, so I can have a sort of nachos and chili, and I'll tuck into that shortly. I'll get it on the stove. Looks nice. It looks a bit like vomit in there. It doesn't look amazing, but there's nice big lumps of meat in there. Kidney beans as well. Mmm. That's nice. Tastes like a excuse me. Tastes like a decent chili. Let's go in for Dorito. Get my spoon out of the way. Oh yeah, that's biltong as well. I've tried some of that before, and I'll be sure to be putting in another order with him soon to get a few more meals in stock. I've seen he started doing a breakfast as well recently, so I might give that a try, but Of the two that I've had so far, the beef chili and the steak, veg and dumplings, I'll happily reorder both of them without any quibbles. And yeah, I'll put a link into the description, if I remember, of the video that I put up, and recommend you go check him out. But after that, while I'm in Cornwall, it'd be wrong to not have a nice Cornish ale, because that's something else that Cornwall are very good at doing, is making darn good beer. So proper job by St Austell Breweries, arguably one of my sort of favourite IPAs. So let's get this going. Ooh, it's been shaking about a bit in the rucksack. There we go. Not too bad. I think that was about 90% froth, but a nice nonetheless. Cheers. I've got me extra layers on now. I've got me Swazi fleece underneath my smock. Taking the waterproof jacket off at the moment just to let it dry off a bit more without me wearing it, and probably leave that off now. Be getting into bed in an hour or so. Early night for me tonight. Early night, and then I'll probably be away early. That's the way that you have to do things when you're wild camping, really. You set up late and pack up early, and leave no trace. All my rubbish I'm collecting. Got my tea bags and rubbish here. I've got my other can, and I'll be bagging that up and packing that back to the car with me. And I recommend everyone do the same when they come out here. Leave this place as pristine as it should be. Only this and the punk for me today. I'm going to get this down in, and I've got a nice dessert to show you. And some of you might have by now guessed what that dessert might be, given where I am. I'm looking forward to it. Let's just say that. One final comment I thought I'd just make whilst I'm getting an angle down here is I know that Rich from Cotton Bud Media on his awesome YouTube channel, which I thoroughly recommend you go check out, was saying to me in a comment on my last video that he recommends I should take a tent with me when I head out onto the moors, particularly as it was my first time. And I think I replied and I sort of said I actually agree with you on that. Ideally, I think a tent is the best option for now. I could be tucked up quite nicely in my tent right now. But one of the reasons why I didn't take a tent is that the two that I have at my disposal, which is the MSR Elixir 2 and the Lux Hex Peak, are lovely tents. They can cope with any weather that you'll get thrown at it down here, but they're large tents. They take up quite a big footprint, and it suddenly restricts the options that you have available to you for pitching your tent or finding suitable pitches on the moor. So I'm pitching here with my bivvy bag in this nice little ledge here. There's no way on earth you'd be able to pitch a tent here, not least because you can't peg it down, and also because the footprint wouldn't be anywhere near big enough for the smallest of one-man tents. I came here knowing that was my plan, that I was going to find myself a nice little nook or cranny to tuck myself away in on the moor, and predominantly to get a shelter from the weather. And that's kind of what I've achieved with this space that I've found here. I'm very happy with my option. If I was going to make this space a little bit better, I'd probably put some grass down over the rock to make it a bit more comfortable. But either way, I'm satisfied with the option I've got, and I have complete confidence in the Dutch hoop bivvy that I use as well. It is a banging bit of kit. It's awesome. Cannot fault it at all. It weighs a little bit, I suppose, but it's a great bit of kit. But maybe next time I'll take the tent. Maybe next time when I'm less concerned about finding a sort of sheltered pitch, and less bothered about you know, camping in open exposed areas. But yeah, we'll see. But I appreciate your thoughts on that, Rich, and hope you enjoy this video. I'm sure you'll be watching, and yeah, I'll show you the setup a little later on. Just wish this fog would piss off. It's really annoying. Right folks, for pudding then, I have fruit scones, clotted cream and strawberry jam. Now can you guess what I've got for pudding? I've got green tea, of course. Now am I going to do it the Cornish way or the Devonshire way? That's a point of contention for many folk down here in the southwest. Personally, I do it the Cornish way, which is put jam on first, then clotted cream on second. But the people of Devon get thoroughly hacked off by this, because they think you should put the clotted cream on first and then the jam on second. In all honesty, I don't think it makes any difference. It still tastes bloody amazing. People are probably thinking, 2 scones, you greedy git, that's a lot. But that's what you give you, and that's what they give you when you order a cream tea down here. You get 2 scones, clotted cream, jam. It's cold out here, the temperature's starting to drop. So I kind of feel it's my duty to sort of keep the furnace in my belly burning hot. And I've got to use this clotted cream to sort of stoke that fire and keep the body heating me up. So I'm going to get cracking with it, and I'll bring you along. And lots of cream, because it's got strawberry jam in it. That actually counts towards 1 of your 5 a day. So I've got 1, 2, and then another 2 there. So that's 4 of my 5 a day in this pudding. So it's actually quite healthy when you think about it. There's no calories in this at all. Right, I'm going to get stuck in. Cornish green tea. Well, I think what they say down here to describe that is, it's bloody handsome, which is really nice. that green tea was lovely. For those of you wondering, well, you had the screams, scones and that, but where's the tea? Well, that's what the pot's on for now. I'm going to have a nice cup of tea now, then I'm going to get my bivvy down and get into that. But I fully expect that anyone with any remotest link to Devon's probably going to come at me in the comments. Please do so. I don't mind. I can take it. I'm sure it's nice the Devon way as well. One day I'll have to try it, I suppose, probably when I go on holiday in Devon. But it was bloody marvellous. You know, you can take your freeze-dried meals and stick them where the sun don't shine. Because I'll take a Cornish green tea and a nice chilli any day of the week. And then what could be better than to wash that down with a nice cup of tea, of course. Weather's still grim. It is pretty bleak up here, but hey ho, what can you do? Such is life. Looks like I've got company tonight. Alright lads. There's always a black sheep. There we go then folks. Just laid the bivvy down. Not too shabby. Getting dripped on a little bit there, but it's Gore-Tex, he can handle it. Slight upward slant going up towards my head in there, so that should work out okay. And then underneath, got my usual X-Fed Flex Mat Plus, and then inside, I'm sort of stretching over here, excuse me, got my Rab Solar 2 sleeping bag, which is 2 season, but it's rated down to -1. Pillow, and then my rucksack there, that's the Osprey Kestrel 48, will be going in the head end and sort of helping keep the form and the shape of it in the bivvy there. But yeah, fits in nicely. I might move the bivvy over that way a little bit, just so that that's not dangling off. The sit mat over here, the outhouse sort of wall canvas sit mat, I'll probably just slide underneath here, because the mat sort of goes down to sort of below my knees there, so my feet will be around here somewhere. But yeah, should be quite comfortable. Never slept on a rock before, but there's a first time for everything, and no need to put the tarp out, of course. The weather has improved quite a bit now actually. It might just be because I'm sheltered from it all here in this spot, but it does seem to have settled down a bit. It's just really foggy now, but it is getting cold. I'm noticing that much. What's the time? The time is, yeah, 7:15, so it's probably about another 45 minutes or so of light left. But I'm probably going to tuck myself in, put my merino wool thermals on that I've got, and watch a few videos or something. I've got nice 4G signal here, so I've got a few videos to catch up on the tube. Let's get this camp squared away, and I'll speak to you later. Unless something tragic happens during the night, I'll probably speak to you again in the morning. So, bye for now. That's me for the night. It's still daylight, but I'm just gonna sit in a sleeping bag for a while, watch a bit of YouTube probably. I've got Des Catty's video to catch up on. I haven't watched that yet, Des. But a little bit. The sky's cleared a little bit. Just see summit of Sharp Tor there. Imposing. Nice to camp with a view though. You don't get that very often in woodland. Hi campers, good morning. And I've woken up to a bit of a view this morning. It's just coming to about 7:15, so sun rises in about 10 or 15 minutes I think. So should get a bit brighter in a moment. But I can see across to the moors, across the moorland. Lovely. Slept okay last night. It was pretty mild actually. The fog really got quite thick last night, and I think that kept a lot of the warmth down on the ground. But I spent most of the night with the top of the bivvy open. My sleeping bag I didn't even have fully zipped up. I'm just wearing my my base layers and this fleece. Wasn't the most comfortable night, if I'm honest. I have just slept on a rock after all, but it was okay. The only problem I had was that it was on a bit of a downward slope, and I was sort of sliding down the rock a little bit from time to time. But apart from that, it was okay. The mat kept me plenty warm enough. So yeah, it was all good. What I think I'm going to do is wait for it to get a little lighter, pack up camp, and maybe head up towards that hill there. That's called the Cheesewring, because of the way the rock formations are up there. They look like cheese rings stacked on each other. And I might head that way and stop round there for a cup of tea and breakfast. I've got some porridge with me for breakfast today, so I think that's going to be my plan. And then my car's not too far away from there either, so that's all good. But then I might sort of head back that way, just very briefly, just to show you where I went yesterday as well, providing these views remain as they are when it gets a bit lighter. Fingers crossed. I can't guarantee that the views will stay like this. I've got a funny feeling the fog might descend upon us again, but we'll see what happens. Lovely. My first night on the moor. That's Kilmar Tor over there that I went to yesterday. That's Bearah Tor there. There's a big valley between those tors. They look like they're on top of each other, but they're not. Over in the distance over there, the horizon line is Dartmoor. Tor there. And that's the rock formation that kept me sheltered last night. And that's where I'm headed. Gotta go straight down there first and then around the farm. There's the Cheesewring, folks. Once again, I've got to go route 1 up to it. Straight up. No easy routes. So let's get into it. Gets the lungs pumping. Summit's just over there. You can see Sharp Tor over there with the rock formation to the left that I camped on last night. There's Bearah Tor that I went to yesterday, and there's Kilmar Tor which I went to as well. It's windy. Dartmoor's over there. Windy up on that summit. Wow, that was blowing a hoolie. I think I'm going to skip breakfast this morning and head on back to our accommodation, the caravan I'm staying with my wife. She's waiting for me. So I'll have breakfast there with her, have a nice cup of tea. But I'll edit this video together later today and hopefully get up on YouTube soon. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you again on the next camp. Hopefully, I'm out at Easter. Bye for now.